Peace, loves. True 5-star, your life driver checking in. Trucking that ass through an abundance of zigs and zags, miles, states, experiences, tears, and laughs. Tonight, I'm checking in from a TA in Atlanta, Hollowell Parkway. Initially, this check-in was going to be about the TA and how to never come to this one. I've been here since 2 o'clock. I checked in at 2 o'clock. It is now 10:30. I just backed into the bay. Not even 30 minutes ago. So initially, I was going to talk shit about them. But the story took a turn. Earlier, as I did my inspection, my pre-trip inspection on the trailer, I noticed my tire, my tandem tire, my rear tandem tire on my driver's side was bulging a bit. And I know that's not a good look, you know. And I had about 5 hours to drive from Atlanta to Savannah. So I'm like, no, I don't even want to chance that. I don't like the thought of a blowout, not just for my own, not for my own safety only, but for the people around me, you know, because I see those tires unraveled all over the highway. I've heard the stories of the damage that those tires, those blow-away tires can do to other people. So I was like, no, let me call Breakdown and let them know I'm going to get my tire changed before I take this trip, even though I left a little later than I planned because I had a little more fun last night than I planned, so I wanted to rest. So I got me some rest today before I even took off. And then when I went to inspect my trailer, there was another holdup because, as I have said before, if it's always something was a job, it's trucking, right? Always something. So I called and got the arrangement to have my tire changed. Drove I don't know, this was about not even 10 minutes from where I was parked in Atlanta. So I was like, okay, I'll take it slow, and that's what I did. I didn't have to get on the highway or anything. I took it real nice and slow, nice and steady. And I figured, okay, they told me it was 3 people ahead of me. So I'm like, maybe it might be a 3-hour setback. And that's okay. It was a beautiful day. I said I got plenty of sunshine left. I love to drive in the sun while the sun is shining. That's my preference. So I'm like, okay, you know, fast forward. How many hours later? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 hours later, I'm like, look now. So now I'm not going to drive tonight because I don't do night driving unless I just get caught out there and don't have a choice. I'm definitely not going to set out at 10:30 going to make a trip anywhere. But when I backed in the bay, I like to get out and see what's going on. No matter what, I want to go and kind of look and see or whatever, you know, because sometimes people tend to take advantage of women and, you know, will tell us anything or whatever. So I said, let me get out here and, you know, just have a quick conversation with my technician, a little young guy, you know. And I said, you see what I see? Do you see what I see? And he said, yeah, but he was looking at the inner tandem tire. And I was like, would you see something back there? And so I got down, I squat down and looked, and I saw he was moving the tire. He said, yeah, is this what you're talking about? You said the outside tire. And I said, yeah, I reported the outside tire, but are you moving that tire? So I got down there and I moved the tire. The tire was loose. You could swing it back and forth. And I'm like, wow, I hadn't even checked that. You see, I didn't even know that. That's very dangerous. You know, I saw the danger, and that's how spirit moves. I'm so thankful. Huge gratitude to spirit. Right here with all the witnesses that take time out to check this this video out. Huge gratitude to Spirit. Huge gratitude for the times that I thought it was a hold up and it was a burden, when really Spirit was keeping me from danger seen and unseen. Huge gratitude. I give all honor, glory, hallelujahs to my divine guide, to the universe, to the creator of all good things, to the creator of all things, rather, including us. I could almost shout just thinking about it. Because had I kind of overlooked that tire, like, it'll be okay, let me just get out here, I'm already late, you know, who knows what could have happened today. And I'm not just talking about happened to me. I'm concerned for me too, but I'm also concerned for other people, you know. So I was thankful that, you know, like, okay, even though it's been out, I spent the whole day here, and this is like a popping spot. This is a hot spot. I've heard stories about this place, but I was like, okay, it's daylight. I've never been to a TA or I usually go to Lovez, that's my preference, but I've never been to a truck stop where there was security at the front. You got to go through the security gate. And I know why, because of the reputation. The reputation precedes this place. Matter of fact, a girlfriend of mine from here in Atlanta just told me that she comes through this way. She was like, have you been to that one over there? And I was like, no, I don't really go to TA anyway, but no, I've never been over there. She was like, oh, because it's right across from the Blue Flame. I said, oh, I've heard of it. I've heard of it, you know. It's popping. Apparently it used to be like really heavily inundated with lizards and all kind of. You can imagine it's across from the Blue Flame, from the that's a strip club. I've never been, but you know, you hear stories, right? So I'm thankful that I was held up today, and that again I was kept. I'm thankful for that, you know. It was something else I wanted to mention while I was here, but for some reason I'm just really stuck on the heavy on the thanks, heavy on the gratitude, you know. I just want to share that, you know, because I'm a newborn trucker. I'm new to this, you know. I'm a newborn trucker, and I hope that I can inspire, you know, inspire some truckers, some drivers. You know, I always, you know, I like to go deep, you know what I mean? So I like to inspire on a deep level. This is more than a tire story. This is a life story. I'm a life driver. So I'm looking at this like, wow, there I was feeling a tad bit, you know, bothered because I was being held up, when all the time I may have been being saved. So applying patience is something that has to be cultivated, because I've had to work on that. I've had to work on my patience, and I still am working on it, apparently, right? But in life, in this journey, in this life journey, it would behoove us, it would benefit us to know when to slow roll. You know, there's a saying I like to say. I think I coined it. I'm pretty sure. I think I did. I'm gonna think I did. I've never heard it. No rushing in trucking. I coined that phrase. No rushing in trucking. And this is the prime example of that. sometimes you gotta say fuck that money, because I did think to myself like, oh man, I'm gonna be behind on everything, because I had a full schedule. My driver manager had, you know, laid out my next few stops. I got a call from a lady who's waiting for me, you know, to bring a load, not this load that I currently have. I had to drop this off and pick up something else and, you know, do some rigmarole before I even get her load to take to her. You understand? So there was a little bit of pressure from that, you know, but I'm pretty good already as far as not letting certain things like that supersede my wisdom, you know. Although I felt a little bit of like, dang, you know, because for my own goal setting, I like to set my own goals. You know, like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be done did that by then, hopefully. Maybe I'll add an hour, because you never know. Like, I like to do that. The goal setting aspect, I enjoy that. And it is frustrating because you can hardly ever make your goal right on time in trucking. You know, that's just the nature of the beast. But I'm sure that that is also teaching me something about myself. I'm positive about it. It's teaching me to settle more, into the flow state. I'm heavy on the flow state right now. I'm heavy on that. Not trying to control the flow, but rest in the flow state. It's a beautiful thing, but it's challenging for me because I guess maybe I had more of a desire to control my flow than I thought I had, than I realized. Maybe I had more of that than I realized. But I am now realizing it and working on it. Flow state. I got distracted because I saw Cute and Crazy. I have talked about that before to my young ladies and my wise ladies as well. Because I'm young. I'm just, you know, I'm not necessarily young in age, but I still can definitely be considered a young lady. Somebody tried to insult me with that recently. I'll talk about that another time. But I didn't take it as an insult because I love me. I'm thankful for who I am today. And that young energy keeps me in my high vibration. It keeps me happy. You know, when I'm taken out of that or moved or pivoted from that or allow myself to pivot or whatever from that, I return to that. That's somewhat of my center. That youthful energy is a center for me. So, you know, I know people probably think that sometimes, like, oh, she thinks she young. Or how old is she? She act like that or whatever. I don't give no fucks about that. Because I'm also very wise and mature. But I am still, you know, very much in touch with my youthful energy. So anyway, young ladies, older young ladies, who the hell ever, beware of Cute and Crazy. I just saw Cute and Crazy because he was cute. But I don't know, once you become of a certain age and experience, sometimes you can, you can pick up on, you just watch for a few minutes how they kind of conduct themselves and whatever. And you can catch a little tinge of a little offness. Somebody will know what I'm talking about. Somebody gonna judge me for it, and that's fine. Whichever. Both are fine with me. I'm just gonna be true to true. And to you too if you allow it. Alright? That's just what that is. And I can't, for the life of me, I can't remember. It was one other thing that I wanted to include in this video. I can't think of it, so I won't prolong. I have other things to say, but I don't want to clump all of those subjects into one thing. I really wanted to talk about being slow and steady in your journey. not just trucking, but your life journey. You know when to slow down. I posted that recently. When you don't know which direction to go, slow down. That was for life too. That wasn't just for trucking. That was for life. Because sometimes you don't know which way to go. In this journey of zigs and zags, this abundance of zigs and zags. Life offers us an abundance of zigs and zags. That's what the A.Z.Z stands for in trucking, that ass. Abundance of zigs and zags. I've traveled an abundance of zigs and zags, and I've gained an abundance of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what zigzag zig stands for. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. I've earned an abundance of that in this journey as well. And sometimes you just gotta slow down. When you're not sure which direction to go, slow down. Even better, get still. Stop and get still. Take you some deep breaths. We forget to do this. I was talking to a friend, and I noticed he was breathing shallow. We were talking, we was vibing, but he was breathing shallow, and I was like, whoa, take a deep breath for me, And people be like, girl, I'm like, no, take a deep breath. See how that feels. And he did. He was like, damn, okay. Because it happens to the best of us, especially if you're labored, if you got something on your mind that you need to do, or, you want to do and maybe can't, or whatever, or you're caught up in a somewhat stressful situation. You may not be breathing like you should be, so you're not getting the full oxygen. You're not breathing in the full experience of life when you're not So when you're still, when you slow down, when you're still, when you're quiet, remember to breathe in life. Before you proceed, breathe. I am thankful. And I just want to share that experience. And, my desire is that someone will receive the message of that. The message that I got from this experience I had today. My desire is that others will maybe slow down as a result of this share that I'm offering. Do that inspection. Take your time. If you see something that could be unsafe, do the right thing. Save yourself. Save someone else. Okay. Peace, loves. Peace, love.